Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing well. Welcome back to another video. Can you say consistency? This year, you cannot lie, every 2 months I've been trying to pump out videos, so pat on the back for me. And I just also want to say thank you guys for all the love you showed me on the video I posted a couple of months ago. I did not expect it to get that much traction, to get as much views as it did, and all the new subbies I got. Welcome! I hope you enjoy your time and stay here, get comfortable. This is a video that has been on the calendar for a while, so I'm so excited to be finally talking about it. You already know I don't like to waste too much time with intros, so grab your lighters, grab your glasses, grab your mugs, whatever you do to chill, and let us have a little chit chat. What is femininity? This is a question that I have been wrestling with for time, as it pertains to me as not only a woman, but a dark-skinned Black woman. A thick dark-skinned Black woman, might I add. What does that mean when, historically, the complexities of Black women's experiences have been continually challenged by Western notions of femininity? At the intersection of race, gender, and class sit Black women, and our very existence pushes and provokes against that narrow definition of what it means to be a woman. By Western imagination, we are essentially the perpetual other. If we are not masculinized beasts of burden, we are desexualized mammies or hypersexualized Jezebels. You see the trend there? It's either we are hypersexual, masculinized, or desexualized. We're not just able to occupy a space, live freely, figure these things out for ourselves. Scripts of what it means to be a woman, a feminine Black woman is already prescribed to us by society. Although we are seen as the perpetual other, although we are trying to occupy spaces that would want us out, that want to push us out, we are continually resisting. And Black women, we have always resisted since time in memoriam. All right, let's take it back to 1983 when mainstream feminism first made its first boom. It was mostly led by white women. Surprise, surprise! And this initially was a movement that was pushed forward because it was to serve their goals. And in doing so, they were only concerned about white women, right? Because most of the things that they were arguing for or lobbying against, Black women had been talking about for a long, long time, especially Black feminists had been having this discourse for years and years and years prior to when these women decided to say, hey, actually, equal pay, I want a bank account, I want to do all this and that. Black feminists had been talking about this for a long, long time. It goes to say, Black women, we are not even allowed, we cannot even fit into a gender role that was made for us because we have been othered. The darker you are, so much harder for you. I never had this experience personally as much. Again, I think growing up, just having everyone in my family be dark skinned, thank God, that was a very nice experience. For me, growing up, I never really had this issue as much until I think I got into high school. I started dating, I became more cognizant of things like race, colorism, all that stuff, and how that affects how people, approach you, date you, etc., etc. But I was always a very girly girl, even growing up. I loved pink, nails, everything. I have always been the ultimate girly girl. People demonize femininity in young girls. They tell us that, oh no, you're gonna grow out of loving the color pink, but one thing about me, hey, when I discovered pink, I knew that this is a color that I'm gonna rock with for life. Me and pink were like this. And everyone always tell me, no, you're gonna grow out of this, you're gonna grow out of this, you're gonna grow out of this, but I never did. And then when you get older, after having them had demonized the femininity that we want, that us girls collectively enjoy, that they push forward, now they want us to start this new femininity that they want us to, adopt. Something that is more palatable, something that is more adaptable, something that is the antithesis of what Black women are, as we are not included in that definition. So when we do our own thing, it is always seen as in direct opposition to something. Although the world economy has always relied on Black women's labor since time in memoriam, they do not want us to have these certain freedoms. They do not want to give us the same level of care they will give to our female counterparts. they do not even see us as feminine. That is why they're able to just watch us suffer and suffer and suffer because we have been othered. With men, it's a little different, especially as it pertains to darkness, because the darker a man is, he's perceived as more masculine, which is a favorable thing for him. And now, being a dark-skinned man, it's now a fetish, you know. Being dark-skinned is in, hey? Now. But some of us have been dark our whole lives when it wasn't even in. And even for dark-skinned women, there's always this certain element of what they find beautiful in us is not our quote-unquote African masculinized features. It's things about us that are softer. Like, oh, you know, you have a petite frame. She has a smaller nose. Just more Eurocentric leaning features are more desirable. But Audre Lorde talked about Black femininity in the sense that she encouraged women and femmes to see themselves as essential subjects, not objects, that are able to access their instincts as a source of feminine information, joy, and power. To not be so bothered about the definitions that we have seen, but to think of a way we can make it up for ourselves, understanding that to be Black and to be a woman is a complex thing. Essentially being encouraged to celebrate the wholeness of our femininity. But what does this look like? What have been the popular notions of how Black women have tried to rebrand or figure out how to be feminine and what that means to us in this patriarchal, capitalist, white supremacist society? Also keeping in mind that there is no oppressive force under which Black women do not carry the heaviest burden. In any ranking of these world systems of power, Black women were always at the bottom of the totem pole. Thinking of all the historical context of how Black women have been treated, predating slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, apartheid, colonialism, and the after effects of that. How do societal standards influence the ways Black people think about and interact with their femininity? This is a question I had to sit and ponder with for a really long time. Because like I said, I've always considered myself a very feminine girl. Love the color pink. I always love getting my nails done, makeup, girly outfits. That has always been me. Even growing up, the things I like to watch. The characters in movies that I could relate to the most were always the Sharpay Evans, the London Tiptons, Regina George, Cher Horowitz, the Gabriela Montezes, the Bella Swans. The Not Like Other Girls did not do it for me. But me, I was with the girly girls. So having that representation, for me especially, a dark-skinned, thick girl, to have that feminine representation. I didn't have it, let's say, in the media, but I was lucky enough to have that in my mother, who is the most feminine woman I can think of, hey? Feminine, gorgeous, dark, thick. Shout out to you, Mom, if you're watching. But that was my representation, and I never felt that feeling of, oh, I'm not feminine or I don't fit into this feminine ideal until high school, and also when I went to the US, where I stood out amongst a sea of people and they would quickly masculinize everything I do. And this is a uniquely Black experience where you are feminine, you are feminine presenting, you do all these things, yet you are still masculinized, you're still treated differently. You have to alter how you move and how you present yourself just so society does not now other you more than they already would. And that is how we have seen this rise of femininity coaches that are now coming up to teach us how to be more feminine. And if you have noticed, a majority of these femininity coaches are Black. Black women are more devoted to maintaining an outwardly feminine appearance because we're placed at the bottom of the social hierarchy. So we put more emphasis in how we do our hair, how we do our nails, how we speak, how we carry ourselves, all these things, so we appear more feminine. But why are all these things that we are trying to emulate copycats of whiteness? And why do these things shame, bastardize, demonize Blackness? So I read this article that did a little investigation on some femininity coaches, two of them. They did one on Dr. Michelle Gaff and Jasmine Theodora. Both of them have a presence on YouTube, and they, are femininity coaches. And apart from those two femininity coaches in general, we see that most of the way that they talk to us, most of the products that they brand to us on how to become more feminine, because, no, femininity is not free. Not in capitalism. Femininity costs money. It costs money. Most of these things are marketed to us through a way of shame. We are always shamed into femininity. That kinky coily hair, shameful, not feminine. Relax it, slick it back, call it a day. That dark skin of yours, light is right. Bright is better. Here's some bleaching cream. Long fuck off nails, not feminine. Ugly, gross, you're not as feminine. Short, stubby, white plain nails. Even though arguably I do not think there's anything more feminine than long nails. I mean, right now I do have my natural nails. It's because I'm letting my nails breathe, but I am a long nail girl, hey? I love long nails. That is my default. It forces you to slow down. You gotta move a little more graceful. You gotta move a little more intentional. Name a more feminine thing. So is it femininity or it is social conditioning? The article also made a point to note that there is a heavy contrast between upper and working class Black women and their values on what they think are realistic portrayals of what Black women should look like. Racial and class differences shape ideas of what it means to be feminine and how much they are willing to subscribe to those standards of Western femininity. We have seen, there are examples we've seen that people who are more upper class, who have more financial means, are more likely to subscribe to some Western ideals of femininity. I cannot sit here and say I don't. I do. To some degree, I do. I do wax, I do trim my eyebrows. There's a lot of things that we do that are grooming practices that are deemed as feminine, that have not always been just, but we have convinced ourselves that just. And there's other things that you have to be able to realize that this is very harmful to me. Waxing my legs is not harmful to me. I could have waxen legs, I could also have hairy legs. But when it now becomes a thing of, if you don't shave your legs, you're not a woman. Or when someone says, as a woman, you need to be doing such and such. Why are you gendering certain behaviors? And working class women, most of them don't usually have the luxury or time to care about these things that we care about because they're trying to make a buck to survive, to eat, to make it to next week. We're here worried about, don't wear a bubblegum pink dress. Let me wear something muted and nude so it looks more feminine. So these are some of the findings that the article discovered on the femininity coaches, the two femininity coaches that it was looking at. With Dr. Daff, they saw that they mostly use images of lighter skin and white women in business casual, simple jewelry and nails. Clean girl, longer nails make people perceive you in a negative light. Facial and body hair is masculinized. Talked about it. And they emphasize softness, daintiness, smallness as feminine features. These adjectives are very specific in their tonnage, in their wording. Are you trying to say that the way we act is not this? And if we don't do this, we are therefore not feminine? And the people you are even using to get your point across look nothing like the women you are preaching to. Also emphasized how women should sit in their femininity. And a lot of femininity coaches love to say, ladies, we need to, sit in our femininity. What does that mean? And what does it mean to not be sitting in your feminine? What are these behaviors? They said, we need to leave masculine behaviors such as aggression and provision and boasting to men. Again, why are we gendering certain things? Some jobs call for women to be aggressive. Sometimes it is a feminine thing to provide. As a working girl now, I'm providing for me. Am I not sitting in my feminine because I'm providing for myself and I'm boasting about it and I'm aggressive about it? But she views gender and gender expression through a strict binary lens that is not to be deviated from. And that is the same thing with the other femininity coach, Jasmine Theodore, except she focused faith more. She focused faith as her point of being feminine, that being feminine is for God, and we should embrace these gender roles because God has roles for men and for women. And she also tended to consent the feminist movement, and that women who don't subscribe to hegemonic femininity are not going to end up partnered or will have a hard time navigating life. But all these things is not even just to make your life easier, it's to make you find a partner. Everything they do is to find a partner, and I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. If they were giving us femininity as a way to be happier, as a way to embrace ourselves, actual things for dark-skinned Black women, the people that you say you are talking to, you are advocating to or for, why is everything so harmful? Why is everything so mean? I didn't leave these videos or talking to these femininity, soft life girlies, I didn't leave there feeling good about myself. I left there feeling tired, scared, stressed, pessimistic as hell. And most of these visible figures that we have of femininity are presented in a way that they make femininity, that kind of femininity, seem so accessible, and that it is the norm when it is not the norm. A lot of the definitions for things we have now are constantly changing, constantly fluctuating. What it means to be feminine now may not be feminine 20 years later. So to live and die by these set of principles and codes is so strange. It's so strange. And because everyone is beat down and weird out, we had COVID, the world kind of sucks right now, the people who are in power are demonic. It's the perfect recipe for compliance, for harm, for neglect, for maltreatment. And this whole Black femininity branches into soft life because this is now a popular movement that a lot of Black women are becoming the face of. And at the beginning, when I first saw soft life, or how I understood soft life, was Black women saying, we are now gonna give ourselves a chance to rest, to do the things we're not always allowed to do. It's a freedom of choice. And this is a choice that is not a singular endeavor. It is years and years and years of collective work for you to have that choice. I'm a soft life babe, hey. As someone who throughout uni, I struggled and struggled and struggled, and I thought I was going to be the self-made No, I'm not interested in that. And I realized the privilege of that because it took my grandmother, my mother, fighting a system, daring to rebrand femininity in their own way and not falling to these strict binaries of what it means to be feminine, and educating me to do the same. That's genuine soft life. The freedom of choice. Do we actually know what we want for ourselves, what it means to want these things for ourselves? Do we surround ourselves with positive images, positive representation of what we want to see? Is the pursuit of whiteness really all that? And the way all these feminine things are presented to us, it always involves us spending some money. Femininity is expensive. That's one thing they never fail to let you know, that it is expensive. And if you're not willing to pay for said expenses, then you are not a woman who is investing in herself. You're not a feminine enough woman. Can we actually describe the word fem? Like, what is our working definition of femininity? And it's so sad to see how many girls essentially hate themselves. And we're trying so hard to deny the parts of ourselves that make us who we are, that make us Black, that make us African, that make us children of the diaspora. We're so worried about chasing whiteness when these white people literally steal from us all the time, especially in regard to femininity. Black women are the prototypes, the blueprint, the ones, not the twos. And then they repackage and repurpose these things in a more digestible way. They want to erase Blackness. Because if something is Black, already we have said, Black is bad, Black is bastardized, Black is demonized. So if Black people are thinking of things, that means Black people are good, and we can't have that. We cannot have that. So if Black people are saying long nails, we're saying short nails. If they're saying don't ever want your hair, we're saying have it slicked back. If they're saying wear color and be whimsy, we're saying monotone. I love all things girly. I love the girls to be soft, but I don't want softness to be seen as a privilege. I want it to be the freedom of choice for everyone. I want women who haven't even had the ability to sit down and think about these things, who can't even sit and think about these things, who are told what it means for them to be feminine, who have to do that, or else it is a matter of life and death. Until then, we cannot be saying, hey, soft life, soft life, soft life. Trends are not going to be the answer to these systemic issues. Femininity you should feel good. Like when you say, you should feel good. You should not have any conviction about what you are doing in a negative way. Most people do. Most of the imagery that we have seen, the media, how people treat Black women, a genuine hatred for us, yet we keep everyone up. It's us who are doing all the heavy lifting, and we are the most hated. Make it make sense. As we are getting older and becoming more mature and trying to find more of our personal identity, stamping our adult identities, what that means in regard to femininity, masculinity, if you even care about said things. Dare to be a contradiction. Do it. But yeah, I do have a lot of care and a lot of understanding, especially for my Black girlies who are subscribing to this particular brand of femininity. But I want us to be careful to not get too lost in the sauce and not get too obsessed with hypergamy and this ideal of what it means to be feminine. It is just what is popular right now and useful for the time being, but there will come a point when things will change. Let us not always wait until shit happens to be like, okay, now what do we do? Before things are happening, while we can see, that the train is coming, let's actually have those discussions right now. So a lot of the things that we are looking after, a lot of the things that we're chasing, we're not in pursuit of femininity. We're not trying to be more feminine. We're in pursuit of whiteness. They are trying to condition us to more whiteness. Again, reprocessing, repackaging these things as these motherfuckers always love to do. And people realize that Black women are an insane community, an untapped community. They know we have been othered and we're constantly trying to fight to even get a foot in the door, let alone a sit at the table. And in a sense, I can relate to this as someone who understands the pressures of what it's like to always have to do a little bit of extra just to be seen as, okay, acceptable. White women, other women of lighter hues who are in closer proximity to whiteness have the luxury of just being, of coming out looking crazy, sweatpants, messy bun, bonnet on, and they're still labeled as feminists. Whereas someone like me, I don't have the luxury of just coming out with my zingongo, mumu on, walking around town and people still perceive me as feminine. They would call me auntie. And there is a certain ramification when people start calling you, hey, auntie, 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 auntie. I have to do so much just to be seen as, all right, cool. And this is something that I picked up from in high school when I went to school with a lot of white people, mixed people, and us Black girls, we had to do so much, guys. And I remember PE time when we had swimming lessons, it was torture for us. That means the swimming cap, and then after swimming, our lighter counterparts could just go about the business. But some of us, we had to put mafuta on our body, and we had only 5 minutes to change and get ready. And now we're going to class, we're feeling insecure, we're embarrassed, and you can just see how people they make you feel less than a woman, less than a person. It's that othering that they're talking about. So in a way, that conditioning has affected me a lot. I really struggle to just be average. I have a lot of compulsive tendencies that I have picked up just because I always want to be presentable. This has not been that much of a big problem because a lot of people sexualize my body. So if your body is perceived in a feminine way, I guess it doesn't really matter if you are in a casing that is masculinized. They will just other you. That's why you have people who are so ready to blow my brains out, but they cannot conceptualize that there is actually like, this is a girl. This is a lady. They don't even see me that way. Just a body to dispose in and go home. And this has been a majority of my experiences with men. Fetishized up and down, left and right. Even by my fellow countrymen. Well, yeah, guys, this was something very light, very airy-fairy. Let us be kind to ourselves. Remember to put down your phone, go touch some grass. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Iran, free South Sudan, and free anyone else who is trapped, who is being silenced, who is being inconvenienced in any way because of Western imperialism. And remember, black girl, that the only reason the one is out here scrambling, stressed, and confused is because they are scared of the day we finally wake up to our power to realize that, wait, hold up. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you soon for my next video. Stay safe.